A very good Thursday morning to everyone out there. Thanks for joining us. Landon here in the driver's seat with you to bring you this morning's weather and eye forecast, courtesy of On Target. Before we jump into our forecast, 4 years and a few hours ago, Wobbles community experienced arguably the worst devastating severe weather event that we've seen on record. We had numerous tornadoes that came through during the pre-dawn hours of December 11th of 2021, laying down numerous tornadoes here across the region. You can take a look at the paths that are right here. Local National Weather Service office has a tremendous review recap that you can go and check out on the National Weather Service Louisville's homepage. We'd be remiss not to mention this first and foremost early this morning, keeping all those that we lost, 17 precious souls, in our thoughts as we continue and we progress throughout today. All right, so let's jump over here and let's get into the forecast early this morning. We do have plenty to talk about and to discuss. All eyes are on this Clipper system located north and west of the region. This thing is going to be sliding down to the south and east as we work throughout today, but especially into this evening on into the very early morning hours of our Friday. This is going to be bringing the opportunity at some snow showers out there. I don't think our region is going to be drastically impacted, but we can't rule out the possibility of some snow showers out there, maybe a light coating or a sparse dusting for some before this is all said and done, all right? You can see the cloud cover there on the satellite early this morning, and you can see the edge of that overlooking the WRUS Skycam. You got some cloud deck that's trying to filter in here out of the north and west. This is looking north on 431, showcasing the cloud cover that is slowly but surely tracking south and east across the region. Barren River Lake Skycam, Proclaim Broadcasting Cam, located down right along the Allen and Barren County line. Still showing crystal clear skies for the most part, but again, folks, if you look back there on the horizon, you can see that blanket of lower hanging clouds that's going to be on the increase here as we progress and we work throughout the day. Frigid start for us, to say the least. We're located between the low and mid-20s. Dare I say, this is going to be a more comfortable-like feel whenever we get into the weekend, and I showcase the temperatures and wind chills that we are anticipating whenever we get into that, but we'll be getting more into that here in just a moment, all right? Sitting around the low and mid-20s this morning, we're going to rebound nicely to right around the 40-degree mark as we work into this afternoon. Then attention is going to turn to that Alberta Clipper system. It's going to be bringing the opportunity of a wintry mix or even some light snow across portions of the region. So let's jump over here and let's get right into it, shall we? Starting first and foremost with the big picture view. Keep your eyes right here to the north and west, and here comes our little friend in the form of a Clipper system. You can see as early as this evening, right around sunset, we got the low located here to the north and east side of the low is where we're going to see the swath of wintry precipitation take over, right? They're going to watch it very quickly lift off to the north and east as we work into our Friday. We're going to have this little warm front here. It's going to be lifting off to the north. That's going to cause a very drastic, very quick drop off in any snow amounts that are received out there. The target area for the heaviest snows is going to be located across northern and eastern Kentucky. That doesn't mean we can't get in on a little bit of the action here, especially as we work into the early part of this evening, and that is what we are going to be keeping very close eyes on. So let's get into those intricate details. We work throughout today, all's going to be quiet, and then you'll see very quickly, after we get the uptick in cloud cover, look to our north and west as we work between the early and mid-afternoon hours. By the 4 and 5 p.m. time frame, we're going to have this swath of precipitation trying to stretch down to the region. Very quickly, as we roll through roughly 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 p.m., you can kind of see the bulk of the activity is going to brush right across the northeastern half of the Wobbles community. You can see this very sharp gradient and drop off. No surprise here. This is what we usually deal with Alberta Clippers. Off to our north and to our east over here, but we might get in on a little bit of activity, especially those of us along northern Butler, over into Edmondson and portions of Barren County, it would appear, with this particular weather maker. This is going to continue to pull off to the north as we get warmer temperatures in here with the warm front extending out and east from our area of low pressure right here. that's going to try to mitigate any sensible weather impacts for us here across the Wobbles community, given the temperature profiles that we are going to be experiencing as a result, all right? So let's jump right into that. If you'll recall, right there on the simulated radar, it's right around the 4 to 8 p.m. time range that we're going to watch for this precipitation swath to move through here. We're going to top out right around the upper 30s, lower 40s region-wide by the time we work into the peak heating of this afternoon, but watch as we work into this evening. Right here between the 4 and 8 p.m. time range, folks, short-term models are keeping us well above freezing, located in the mid to even upper 30s. So we're going to be watching this very closely throughout the day to make for sure that this comes to fruition. And this is primarily the reason that we're not expecting major impacts in regards to travel around here. Temperature profiles just aren't really cooperating right here at the surface. We might have a few snow showers that move through here late this afternoon into the early part of this evening. But again, might get a sparse dusting on some elevated surfaces, perhaps on some grass as well. But it doesn't look like roadways should be impacted too much. But obviously, we'll be watching that very closely here over the upcoming hours. We continue throughout the overnight, and folks, it might seem a little odd, but temperatures are actually going to rise. So by the time that we roll into sunrise on Friday, we look to be right around the lower 40s region-wide. That'll definitely be killing off any sort of slick travel that we were to receive during the early part of this evening. This is why we're not overly concerned. If you're heading up north for any reason towards the E-Town, Louisville, points off to the north and east in that direction, it looks like travel will be impacted much more drastically with higher snow totals of the magnitude of 1 to 4 inches, with even some isolated areas getting in on perhaps 5 inches of snowfall up here in northern and eastern Kentucky, all right? So that is the good news for us, although a little bit sad if you're a snow lover like me. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting much of anything out of this. But the good news is travel conditions should be okay as we work throughout that point in time. Now let's fast forward and let's talk about what's going to take place after, because we still have some more weather impacts to talk about as we roll throughout the remainder of the week. We get another clipper system right here on its heels. Watch as we work throughout our Saturday and Sunday, jolting in here out of the north and west. This clipper system looks to be taking a very similar track to what we're going to see overnight into our Friday morning, with areas right along and north of I-64 here across the Bluegrass getting in on the snow chances again, with us being on the southern fringe, not receiving much of anything. But folks, with that being said, I want you to keep your eyes here off to our north and west, because after that clipper moves through here, this area of Arctic high pressure is going to swing down to the south and east and park itself right over top of our head, bringing so far the coldest air of the season, and it's not going to be anything to mess with, that's a promise. Take a look at our temperature anomalies here at the surface. Anomaly is what we're looking at in regards to average in comparison. Here we are working into our Saturday. We're going to get the colder air trying to nudge in here out of the north and west, but here we are getting into Saturday night, rolling into our Sunday. And folks, look at these valuations. We're talking about 20, 30 degrees below average for this time of year. It is going to be absolutely frigid cold. Might get in on a few stray flurries or maybe a few light snow showers Saturday night into Sunday morning. It is going to be absolutely frigid cold in the great outdoors. This will continue throughout our Sunday, all the way through our Monday as well, before we finally see some rebound in temperatures Monday evening on into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, with temperatures climbing well above freezing as we work towards that. First and foremost, we want to talk about the short term, and that is what we are anticipating throughout the overnight. Overnight into Friday morning snow amounts, you can see it's got the highest totals there located across northern Kentucky. We get a very sharp drop off as you go down to the south and west, okay? We're not expecting much of anything in regards to accumulation. We might catch a sparse dusting across North Butler over in Edmonton and Barron County, but with temperature profiles expected to remain well above freezing at the surface, only wet pavement can be anticipated. Now let's talk about the more concerning sensible weather impacts, and that's as we roll throughout this weekend. Beginning Saturday night and taking us all the way through Monday morning, we're talking about dangerously cold readings that's going to be present out there. Saturday night to Sunday morning, the opportunity of single-digit readings in real time with a wind chill factor perhaps at our sub-zero readings. Sunday afternoon highs, mid and upper teens with single digits and sub-zero wind chills back in the fold Sunday night into Monday. Folks, you all get the idea. That's nothing to mess with. Exposed skin and these kind of temperatures can lead to frostbite very quickly. So please be aware of that here as we work over the course of the upcoming days. Here's a full breakdown of your next 6-day weather forecast. We got some sunshine this morning. Clouds are going to be on the increase throughout the day. Going to have that north wind component trying to working in here. Highs holding between the upper 30s and lower 40s. Overnight lows look to be holding above freezing with scattered snow showers this evening. Then we roll into our Friday. We're going to warm all the way up to near the 50-degree mark before winds turn back out of the north and west. Mid and upper 20s Friday night. Saturday mostly cloudy with highs lucky to escape the 30s. It's showing 14 degrees for Saturday night, but folks, I'm here to tell you, with what guidance is showcasing, I think we're going to get even colder than that, especially in the valley locations. I think many of us will be down in the single digits. Sunday afternoon, mid and upper teens for most. A few of us might slide just above the 20-degree mark. And then Sunday night, going back down to the single digits, sub-zero wind chills by early Monday morning. Monday afternoon, we're at 40 degrees. Tuesday, we're right back up between the mid and upper 40s. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Thursday morning, Baby Friday edition of your Weather or Not forecast presented by On Target. Keep close eyes on our social outlets. We'll be updating you as necessary with the incoming potential snow chances this evening and throughout the overnight, along with a dangerous cold slated for the weekend to follow. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a blessed, fantastic